we're going forward in
True.
this game.
True. I am completely on the same page with you in that one when it comes to that Pearl. And I want to say, too, it's just I've seen 2 matchups so far in this tournament that I've never seen before. And I think that just speaks to the beauty of Ultimate, the fact that 5, 6, 7 years into this game, there are still matchups that we're new to seeing here. It's awesome. So with that being said, though, we're going to find out who is going to meet our man 13 in Winners Finals. Based on the winner of this set, we have Clutchy D Clown, the Shulk main from earlier, going against Xavier, who is new to the stream here.
All right, yeah. So that means, like you said, again, getting some, or like I said, rather, getting some fresh blood. However, Xavier is actually a Mario main, occasional Duck Hunt. However, what do you think of this specific matchup?
Yeah, I'm going to be curious to see how Shulk is going to utilize that shield art and be able to get out of the crazy combos of Mario, but also how much Clutchy D Clown is going to get baited by Xavier to pull off that shield. Because if you utilize that amazing tool at an incorrect time, then Xavier, as Mario, can punish it to a crazy degree. So I think we're going to see a lot of that. I'm also expecting to see a lot of fair at the ledge for Mr. Clutchy D Clown to try to edge guard Mr. Mario. So that's what I'm expecting.
I think we can see that a lot from Xavier as well, thinking about Mario's tool. Oh, I actually see the Duck Hunt. Okay, so we're not going to see Mario right now.
Bro.
Okay, so we were just talking about Mario. It's time to talk about Duck Hunt, though. Okay, so
Yes.
Name of the game for Duck Hunt. I do think that Duck Hunt is wonderful at pressuring shields. We're going to see the utilization of Can, Clay Pigeons, the Gunmen, all of those different things at Duck Hunt's disposal. So I think going into this yet again, it's going to be a wonderful chance to see here what the Arcadian has to offer.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are actually a fair amount of Duck Hunts that more than you'd expect going into this game. I mean, we've got a lot of people named Fawn. We've got Big Duck Hunt fan. We've got a lot of different things here. And, yeah, exactly. This is what you want to do as Duck Hunt, to play around the shield art of Shulk here. Shulk already kind of on the back foot. I love the space that Xavier was already creating with these projectiles. He's throwing out so much and throwing off Xavier with the camera mix-up of the Can as well. I'm already seeing, I like it what I'm seeing so far from Xavier, but instead with this point now, we're having Clutchy D Clown trying to ledge trap our boy Xavier.
Yeah, for sure. Going for a lot of these aerials. That big back air coming out swinging here from Clutchy D Clown. Not going to get the fair, though, as Xavier is able to utilize his floatiness to his advantage. Sending Clutchy D Clown off stage, air dodging in order to avoid that Can, but not going to avoid the up air here. Going to get sent off stage here with the Gunman online here. There is a lot here on the board for Clutchy D Clown to avoid. However, going to come back underneath the upper platform, and now these two are just trying to play around each other's spacing again with these aerials.
I think you're right about that one. And the spacing, I'm really liking this again from Xavier. The Can is just messing so much in the game plan of Clutchy D Clown. But if he's able to, he's almost able to throw him into the Can there, but no assist coming out just yet. But the ledge trapping was immaculate coming out from Xavier. Now, trying to pull on some crucial percent into this one. The forward throw is not going to quite take it, despite the smash art being online. And that's a good forwarder coming out here, but just barely clinging on to the edge of a knife. Things are swinging pretty quickly in the favor of Xavier here.
Yeah, Xavier gonna pile on some pretty quick damage here, despite the fact that he hasn't yet lost a stock here. Clutchy D Clown trying to come in, bobbing and weaving around this platform here. However, it is Xavier who is setting the pace of the game with all of these arsenals at his disposal. Gonna go for the back air there, sending Clutchy D Clown way off stage. Not gonna get the stock just yet, but putting on a pretty respectable amount of damage. Going for that up air though, and now just coming back in swinging. Clutchy D Clown able to reverse the situation, but still down an entire stock here.
This is supposed to be a favorable matchup for Shulk, but I feel like I'm seeing some matchup unfamiliarity on the part of Clutchy D Clown. He's just getting caught in every trap known to mankind of Xavier and going for these YOLO edge guards. The reverse of the situation for Xavier, but finally back air, cleaning up that stock. And this is a situation right now where Xavier needs to keep pushing the momentum in his favor. You cannot let Clutchy Clown get back in this one.
Clutchy Clown, especially not when he is at full rage here, coming back in with these aerials, trying to disrupt the movement of the can, and now coming back in to try to get some damage. However, all of these aerials that Xavier, or not aerials rather, but arsenal that Xavier is using is going to go so much to his benefit as he's able to wall Clutchy Clown out so much. However, full rage online, a lot of things are going to kill Clutchy Clown right now, but Xavier here just going to stand at the other side of the stage now, and then trying to get some damage all the way in disadvantage. However, going to get that grab into the back throw. No! Oh, there's the stop!
Dang!
As I was about to say.
I was wondering how he was going to clutch that out. That was crazy. Keep going, Pearl. I was just excited.
Alrighty, you got Clutchy Clown here trying to go for some aerials at the stage, going to go for the up B here, and now trying to get something with these aerials yet again. Xavier going to take the advantage though, getting on some pretty quick damage in succession. That can though going to blow up in his face as Clutchy Clown is kind of jumping back in and forth with these bears. Oh, but that... Woo! Okay.
Okay. All right, brother. We are in the training mode right now. We are doing some custom combos, and I am here to see it. My man is absolutely barking up a tree to get into top 3 right here, and he might be able to cement himself without so quickly at this point. He's looking so good right now. Oh, but okay, the stock is taken.
Yeah, just with that back air though, there's some damage here that Clutchy Clown is going to have to make up if he wants to secure this stock. However, it is Xavier who is setting the pace of the game with a lot of these aerials. Coming back here and just trying to reestablish his spacing, coming in with the can. However, the can is going to blow up in his face yet again, and now Xavier just has to try to be forced to retreat to whatever side of the stage he wants in order to establish himself. Gonna go in here with the can yet again, and Xavier is sitting in shield. Now coming back in with these big aerials swinging, putting up a pretty good amount of percentage here on Xavier. These two just coming in, going for that back there yet again. And there's the clutch moment that we wanted to see. Coming out swinging here from Clutchy Clown himself.
Wow. You said before when he clutched up that he's living up to his name, and that could not be more true. Clutchy Clown not messing around yet again. And he was down the entirety of that first game, but the craziness of Smash Art Online coming in so clutch for the Clown right there, taking game 1. Wow, I did not expect that at all. He was down to basically a full stock. Look at that. Basically lapped in percent, and he's able to make the comeback happen. Amazing stuff.
For sure, I think just the ability of him to get in and then utilize his advantage to the farthest percentage possible with yet another up smash read like what we saw in a previous game with him. The way that he has these online too, just absolutely phenomenal to see this stuff from Clutchy Clown, especially at such a crucial moment of the game like that. I know if Xavier is getting some mid-set coaching as well, he is probably re-evaluating exactly what it is that he wants to do going into game number 2 here.
Yeah, no, I think you're right about that one, Pearl. I think it says the person here who's coaching Xavier is Fawn indeed, and you can't really ask for a better Duck Hunt coach than that player themselves. They're amazing on the sticks. But also, this could be a bit of a detriment if we're going to talk about it too, because now you've set a full, 60 seconds to let that win, aka that loss you had, set in your mind. It could get in your head a little bit. This could be a huge advantage for Clutchy right here, as he's taken a whole minute at this point to revel in what he just pulled off in that last game.
It could, however, what I hope to expect from players at this level in bracket is that we're going to see a lot of zen. We're going to see them calm down, reset after a game, say, okay, I know what I need to improve upon now. I have my coach here guiding me. So there's a lot to be learned. I really do think that that is what I expect to see at this level of gameplay. You know, these are two players in top 8. And this is an Arcadian, but that doesn't pulling out all the stops just to be here right now.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Pearl, I think you're right about that one. Okay, you're right. That's a good point. Maybe he can access the Zen that you were talking about to reset the situation. And hey, you know what? What do they do in the NFL? You ice the kicker. And maybe that's gonna happen. Maybe Clutchy the Clown finally is gonna feel that ice, not in his veins this time, but going towards the other player. Okay, we're gonna be sticking out here with the duck hunt against Shulk. Things were so close on that last one. We were so excited the entirety of the match. We'll see at this point if Xavier can turn things around and just not let Clutchy do what he does best at the end and keep things in his favor.
All right, we are opting for the undies Shulk this time around. Coming in swinging with the same amount of air. Are those not his underwear?
It's definitely briefs. They're definitely briefs. So yeah, there's some air in those Jordans for sure. Oh, that's not tough. That's tough. Yeah, that's definitely some underwear. Absolutely. The MeUndies coming in clutch, not just in commercials now, also here at an Arcadian near you. But with that being said, that is going to be 100% piled onto Shulk, and a nice up air call out here from Xavier. Not distracted by the undies, but still pressing his advantage.
For sure, just the way that he was able to carry on with that up air, just absolutely wonderful to see here. Xavier continuing to press his advantage, just moving around all of these aerials that the Clown continues to throw out. And then he is going to get sent all the way to the other side of the stage with this can twice in a row, and now coming in again, air dodging away from the up airs here. Wow. But Xavier going to continue following up with that grab and taking the very first stock of the game.
I was wondering if that was still going to confirm it's such a high percent on Shulk, but it's a tried and true combo for a reason. Things are starting out the exact same as game one right here. Duck Hunt is going rabid right now on the sticks, pulling out a great lead thus far in this one. And my man's got to put on some armor or something to... Oh, hold on a second! Never mind! He's just got to put up that grit. He doesn't have clothes, but he's got that absolute dog in him at this point. Not just on the screen against him, but also on inside of that Shulk. Brother went crazy with that dare.
First dare call out that we have seen this set so far. An absolutely crucial moment for Clutchy the Clown to use it. As we're coming in here, Xavier opting to sit in shield, utilizing the gunman here to just sort of change the trajectory of Clutchy the Clown's movement. Going to utilize his aerials, though, in order to send those back Xavier's way, as Xavier just keeps coming in. Gonna go in with the back air here, establishing the gunman yet again. And then the gunman's gonna be offline here, as it is up to Clutchy the Clown now to find an opening here on Xavier, sending him off stage. Smash art on. Could be scary.
True. Okay, it looks a little bit scary. He can't take the stock just yet in the back air. So lethal, but he faked out. No, he faked out the art switch, and he went for a crazy, crazy fake out, but instead, he can't get back to the ledge. And that's going to lead to even stocks going into this game, too.
For sure, if I were both of the players, I wouldn't be sure whether to be happy or not. We're back at an even percent yet again, but we have seen the clutch factor from both of these players when it counts. As we're coming in here, Clutchy the Clown utilizing a lot of the aerials in order to come back in, avoiding the tin can. However, gonna get sent up aired here, back aired here, going back in and opting to air dodge in order to recover, coming in with the get up attack, going to put some damage here on Xavier, but Xavier coming back to the other side of the stage, and if you are Clutchy the Clown, you can't let him set up like that. Going for the grab here through the clay pigeon, going to get some quick damage, not going to get any of those aerials, the back airs here, sending Clutchy the Clown off stage to the other side of the ledge, going for the down tilt there. Really scary if you're I think that can saved him as he's coming back here, going to miss that aerial too, but that is going to be the first game on the board here for Xavier. You can see the frustration on Clutchy the Clown here coming into this game number 3.
Oh my goodness, that was the longest ledge trapping sequence I've ever seen in my life. That was crazy. It felt like Shulk permanently had shield art online at that point. Brother refused to die, but he finally, Xavier, despite every single proper option from Clutchy Clown, is able to take that stock. That was so good from him. It felt like Clutchy Clown chose right every single time in that scenario, but it didn't matter because Xavier was just ready for everything. And that means that we're going into a final game here to get into winners finals. That's awesome.
Really, it felt as though Xavier was looking ahead, almost like he has a magic 8-ball at his disposal as he's playing, and he was just kind of looking ahead, like, okay, based on the set that based on the game rather that we played previously. That's the cool thing about Shulk too, is that when he has monopoly, exactly is that he wants to do, and you can better prepare yourself for that. Xavier really good at setting up his tools of arsenal at his disposal, going for a lot of those options too, and just able to get so many more edge guards than what we saw previously.
13
coaching ongoing.
Yeah, I think 13 just walked onto stream thinking that the set was over and he was gonna play some of the winners finals. That's who just popped up right there. He's like, all right, we're done here, right? That was 3. It felt like 3 games. It's got to be done. I don't know, man. No. That's funny. Okay. With that being said, great points there, though. With what you're saying, you've had fantastic analysis throughout the entirety of the cast, so I appreciate that. And now it looks like, okay, the coaching timer is up. So we're just waiting for both of the players to come back after this crazy break we've been seeing here.
It's definitely advantageous to be coached separately, just so that you can't hear what the other is listening to, or you can't see the same coach at the same. That would be a little funny. But yeah, going into this game 3, we have seen so many close moments. This is a true testament to the close level of gameplay that we have the Arcadian featured today. I am honestly on the edge of my seat already, and we have it.
Yeah. Same here. I'm in the same place with you there, Pearl, for sure. I don't know if I'm 13 who I'd rather play against a Shulk, which I feel like would be a terrible matchup for you, or potentially, you know, a Duck Hunt, which how are you going to have experience with that matchup? I might favor... I don't know. I might honestly favor the Shulk here because that dog needs a muzzle, man, if he's going to keep playing like that. The guy is crazy. But with this being said, now we're hopping back into it. The up airs have been so deadly thus far for Xavier, and they're continuing to be the game plan right here, as is... Look at that. A rapid jabbing through the shield art was such a smart decision from him. Loving, again, what I'm seeing from Xavier.
For sure, putting on some pretty quick damage here. Going to send Clutchy Clown all the way to the upper platform and just continuing to pile on yet again. Clutchy Clown going for the nair here, out of disadvantage. Getting the can here off stage. However, it is Xavier who is waiting here. And then sending Clutchy Clown off stage yet again at a pretty high percentage now to boot. Gonna keep getting sent off stage. We have got the speed art online as Clutchy Clown answers back with some of his own movements here.
It just feels like the ledge trapping is so strong for Xavier. If you're Clutchy Clown, you want to do everything you can to avoid that situation. All options appear to be covered, and that's why you got to make your bacon count when you're in this position. It's advantageous for you, but the cam cutting in with the assist. Air dodging out of the up air, but it's just one aerial, one incorrect move against the trap, and your stock will be forfeit, my friend. Let's see if Clutchy Clown can live up to his name here yet again. No, the forward throw into the can, but the shield art just barely keeps his stock online with 180% to boot.
Amazing decision there and foresight from Clutchy Clown in order to pop the shield art. However, that is not going to be enough to save him from the can yet again. As we're coming back in here, Xavier opting to sit in shield here, sending the can out yet again, trying to pile on some more damage. still at a pretty reasonable percentage here going into this second stock here, but trying to get something followed up with the can here. Going to send that right onto Clutchy D Clown's shield. Jump art online, getting so much off of these grabs. We are already at 100%, almost 100% now as Xavier, as he's coming back in, going for the aerials with the big nair, coming out swinging, going for the grab here, and now these two are just fighting around each other. Yet again, the air dodges coming out around these aerials.
Yeah, exactly. You mentioned before the grabs. It feels like Clutchy D Clown's being forced to shield, and Xavier's taking full advantage of that. The man is 3 steps ahead, but finally, a chink in the armor. Clutchy D Clown finds his one moment and takes the stock here. And he's held on. I don't know how much percent he's had in this set. I have no idea. But I feel like he hasn't lost a stack under like 150%. It's crazy at this point. And there again, he's got another one at this point. And I mean, if it's anything like game 1, he could still clutch this situation out.
Yeah, max rage on the board for Clutchy D Clown yet again here as he's coming in with these going to get grabbed, not going to go in and popping out the shield art just to be extra safe. Going to go for some big reads here, getting a lot of damage off of that as Xavier is in disadvantage. This moment is now for Clutchy D Clown to find something. Coming back in with some big aerials. Going for the nair here. Ooh. As he's finding himself at disadvantage though, unfortunately, that up air going to spell the end of his stock.
But hold on, he's got Smash Hour online, and he jumps out there, slaps the dog. Not a sentence I thought I'd say tonight, but with that being said, that he's just doing so well at abusing the bad recovery of this duck hunt. But now, shield art on deck. Reset the situation. The lead trapping's been so good for Xavier, and the same is true right here. 66% piled onto the Shulk, but he's now swinging back.
Just from the up airs here, however, it is Clutchy D Clown's turn to back with some aerials of his own. Big air dodge. This nair here. The can coming out from Xavier as he's reestablishing his spacing, getting grabbed, for getting a whole lot of damage on the board. Going to send him right into the can and not able to get the up air to follow up with that stock. However, Clutchy D Clown is at a really high percentage versus Xavier, as Xavier coming to grab him here, sending him off stage yet again. But Clutchy D Clown able to reverse that situation. The can coming out here from Xavier. He's getting sent yet off stage. That's not the stock just yet. He's coming back in with the shield art online in defensive mode here as he's trying to find something versus Xavier.
Oh my goodness, 130% and counting. Clutchy D Clown. He never loses these. We have not seen him lose these yet in this tournament. But Xavier is a different beast, a different breed. The dog is feral. We'll see if he can sniff out this stock or not. I'm not quite sure. It is the immovable object versus the unstoppable train. But now we're hopping back onto the ledge. Both of them on so close to losing their stocks right here. They're whipping back and forth. They're so nervous. The can trying to help a homie out. But then the duck takes the stock off the top. Unfortunately for our Clutchy D Clown, he's met his match, and it came in the form of a dog.
What a wonderful up air follow-up though from Xavier, able to find that in such a stressful moment as was this set. In a wonderful reverse 2-0 rather for Xavier, going to seal out this side of top 8 here as he's going to progress to top 3, I believe. Absolutely wonderful to see here, and we saw some really hype moments. Wonderful reads from Clutchy D Clown. I think that mid-set coaching for Xavier helped him load. Able to slow down his tempo, he was able to adapt, better establish his spacing, and even get a lot of his setups going too. So you can really see that he's been put work with this duck hunt, especially when you have an experienced player such as Fawn coaching you. Absolutely wonderful to see changes he's been able to implement short amount.
True. No, you're right about that one. And I think, like you said, the coaching of Fawn, literally having that dog in him, all of this plays a part into him having this top 3 secured in his pocket, and that means that we're going to see a winners finals between Duck Hunt and Marth. Absolutely unbelievable. This is why, hey man, if you're 2-2 in the bracket, you don't need to worry about tier lists, brother. Let's just be honest about it. You don't need to worry about it because we got Duck Hunt versus Marth in winners finals, okay? I mean, you can do well with truly anyone in this game, and that's just how it is.
For sure, and we've been seeing a whole lot of character specialists out here today, so it's been wonderful to see this level of gameplay, especially at an Arcadian. Going into this next set, we are going to have so many hype moments. See, okay, so this last set, looking back at it, it was a whole lot of adaptation that we saw from players. I do think that Xavier was the one who came out on top, though, because ultimately he realized, I think, that as Duck Hunt, he was able to change the momentum of the game significantly more than Clutchy D Clown had a good way of utilizing a lot of aerials in order to create like this wall of back airs like what we saw. However, it was essentially Xavier's game that he was like, wait a minute, I play Duck Hunt, I can do this. I can establish all of these gunmen. I've got the clay pigeons, I've got the can, I can send him exactly where I've got this.